Namaste yogis, welcome to your practice. This is Stephen from YogaWorks. Today I'm in the Drakensberg mountains. They are partly hidden by the clouds. There's much higher mountain ranges up there, but basically I've spent a good few hours today hiking, swimming in waterfalls, carrying my backpack, and I thought while I'm here in this stunning location, I'll take a moment to share the couple of stretches that I would do after hiking for a couple of hours like I've just done. So I've literally just come back, so this is what I would do on a situation like this. This will also work if you've been sitting a little bit too long, or you just need a couple of stretches that are sort of mild, will keep it nice and low to the ground. I want to start with a little bit of shoulder work, then spend the rest of the time taking care of our ankles, our knees, our hips. So we'll spend some time in the calves, the shins, the muscles of the upper legs and around the hip region. And hopefully we can make a difference in quite a short period of time. So let's get started with the shoulders. First of all, just reach your hands back and clasp your fingers together behind your back. And then move the shoulders back a little bit first. And then maybe see if you can straighten the elbows a little bit. Elbows don't need to be all the way straight. It might happen, it might not, it's okay. Try not to flare the rib cage out too much, so keep the spine and the core a little bit strong. And then just feel this nice work at the back of the shoulders, maybe a good stretch in the chest and the front of the shoulder region. Just see where you feel this. And then gently release. You can roll the shoulders out and then lift your left arm up. Just place it behind the back of the head somewhere. And with the other hand, just gently hold the elbow or your lower arm if you can't reach the elbow. And just lengthen this whole left side a little bit. And if you want a little bit more length, you can even lean slightly to the right. So to get a bit of a side bend in as well. Take a couple of breaths here. Good, release that. Lift the right arm, bend it so the hand is somewhere behind your neck. And then with the other hand, you can lengthen the elbow, your forearm, your wrist, wherever you reach. And maybe add a little side bend, leaning over to the left side. And just breathe into the right side of your rib cage and under that arm. All these areas get a little bit restricted when you've been carrying a backpack for a long period of time, especially if it's one of those heavy ones with camping gear and stuff. And then slowly release that. I'll take your left arm, move it in front of the chest, and then hook your right elbow or forearm to hug the arm in close. And then with my left arm, not just passive, but I'm slightly pushing out against the resistance of this right arm. And this is really great to get into the outside of that shoulder joint and even into the upper back. You could stay here, or if you want a little bit more upper back work, then transition into eagle arms. You can lift the elbows a little bit and press the forearms into each other. Slowly release that. You can roll the shoulders out again and then take the right arm across your body, hug it in close using the left arm and press a little bit out like we've done on the first side. So slightly active but nothing too intense. We've done enough after our hike. So we'll take it nice and easy. This is more of a restorative practice. Either stay here or transition into eagle arms. You can lift the elbows a bit. You can either mini back bend if that feels good. And the more you press your elbows and forearms together, the more you feel some really good work in the upper back, in between the shoulder blades. Notice that. And then release that. Roll the shoulders out a couple of times. I think that's enough just to get into the shoulders, the chest, the upper back a little bit. Now let's move our attention to the lower body. Sit on your knees if you weren't already. And then just with your right hand, hold the right knee and lift the right knee up a bit. And this is going to be different for everyone. Just lift until you feel a good stretch down the side of the shin and even into the top of the foot. Take a couple of breaths here. And then set your knee back down. Take the left knee with your left hand and lift it up a little bit. See how far it goes. Sometimes there's quite a difference between the legs. Don't worry about this. A couple of breaths here. Feel the muscles in the shin and going to the top of the foot. Slowly release. Now take your right foot and place it next to the left knee. Nice, so move into the calves a little bit. Now to get more of a calf stretch, pull the foot in close and lean the knee a little bit over the toes. Sometimes you hear that you should never do this, but it's really the only way to stretch the calf, and as long as there's not too much weight on this construction, then it's just totally fine. So don't worry about this, and stretch the heel down away from your knee, and imagine you're trying to pull the toes up towards your shin. They're not actually going to move here. And what I like to do here is I like to just gently rest my upper body on the thigh just to get a little bit more stretch into the calf, going into the Achilles tendon to the back of the heel. Couple of breaths. Nice fresh mountain air if you're lucky, but you might be in your room or in your little garden at home. That's also great. And then slowly release that. Place the right knee down. Let's take the left foot next to the right knee. Pull the foot a little bit back. If you're quite tight in your calves, you might have to have the foot a little bit more forward than me. That's fine. And then again, move the knee forward. Might go over the toes. It might be above the toes. It all depends. And then stretch that heel down, and I like to lean a little bit of my torso weight, my body weight, onto that left thigh. I'm not just passively relaxing here, I'm actually actively pulling the left toes up, but because I'm leaning forward, it's really hard to lift the toes up off the mat like this, but you get a really nice stretch down the back of the lower leg when you do that. So that's what we're after right here. Another breath or so. Good. I'll turn sideways for the next one. Just sit on the knees again. And then just walk your hands a little bit back. So the major muscle groups that are working when we're hiking or just walking or running, of course, there's not so much difference in the muscles, are the quads and the hamstrings. So now we're stretching the tops of the legs, the 4 really strong muscles that combine to form the quadriceps. And here I'm just leaning a little bit back until I feel a gentle stretch. I don't want to overdo anything. I'm going a little bit slowly, and just lengthen the knees a little bit forward and down away from the hips. You can also tilt the pelvis slightly, which if you tuck your tailbone under, you lift the hip points up a bit. Then you're pulling this side of the muscle up, which is also going to have a lengthening effect on your quads. And then just choose a spot where you feel more. It might be possible for you to lower down onto your elbows. I'm not sure if this is great. Yeah, it's actually fine for me now. Usually this is quite accessible to me on the elbows, but sometimes just after I come back from a hike or other sports, I need to go a little bit slowly. So if that's you, then please feel free to stay on the hands. You're getting the same effect. And then keep doing the same, lengthening the knees down and away, lifting the hip points a bit, and taking deep breaths. And the deep breaths just let your body know that this is a safe position. You are inviting your body to relax in this pose, and it gives a signal to the muscles that it is safe to to let go a little bit. If you want to lean your head back, then that's fine, you can do that. Or if it's not comfortable for your neck, you can also look forward, of course. Slowly, really slowly come back out, support yourself with your hands, and then just as a counter pose, place your hands towards the front of the mat, walk your knees back quite a bit, and then soften the forehead down towards the mat or onto the mat. This is called puppy pose or heart opening pose. Really good to get into the shoulders again one more time, and also to have a mild back bend. So to move the spine in the other direction that probably you haven't done during your hike. It's a great way to invite some space into the chest, the shoulders, the upper back. You can make this more active if you gently press your hands down onto the mat. But if you just want to hang out here, then that's also fine. This is a great one to work with the breath. So every inhale, see if you can expand. On the exhale, make the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale if you can, and soften the chest down towards the ground. This feels really good after a long hike or a day at the office. And then slowly come back up. Nice. From here, from sitting on your knees, sit to the left side of your feet, and then just take your right foot over the left knee. Now first we'll do a brief spinal twist, just to get into the lower back a little bit and to rotate the spine to the side. What I like to do here is hook the elbow in front of your knee, your top knee, and then returning to the right. And don't feel like you have to go super far. This is just a mild restorative practice, just to stretch some parts of our body that have worked hard during the exercise before. And then this is one of my favorite ways to do while in this position. So keep the legs exactly the same. Lean the chest a little bit down inside that right knee. And then I'm wrapping the left arm to the outside and holding the knee and just draping the other arm over. And then here I can just hang quite passively inside that right knee or lower leg. Really great way to get into that right outer hip. Some strong muscles there like the piriformis and a lot of other ones. And just see if you can send a couple of deeper breaths into any areas that feel a little bit tense. Slowly release this. Let's swap sides. So I'm bringing the right knee under, left foot steps over the right knee. And then right elbow wraps in front of that left knee. I'm placing left hand behind me and just do gentle twist to the left. I'm trying to keep that left hip a little bit heavy. It wants to lift, but I'm inviting it to stay down, which is going to help to stretch that outer hip. So this is not just a twisting pose, it's also some good outer hip work. Couple of breaths here. Enjoy the feeling of being in your body. Hiking is a great way to do that, of course, and to reconnect with nature. And yoga is another way to do that. So it's a really great combination. Nice. We'll do the same as on the other side. I'm leaning the right shoulder down. I'm hanging inside my left knee, and then the right arm wraps on the outside of that lower leg. Left arm, just drape it over and hang down. Relax the hair, relax the neck. Try to stay a little bit close to that left leg. It's gonna improve the hip stretch. But at the same time, make it as comfortable as you can, whatever you need to do to achieve that. Slowly lift back up. Now stretch the left leg long. I'm going to turn sideways. Oh, there's a Shongololo about to join me on my yoga mat. You'll see him in a bit. Left leg straight, right knee is bent, and I'm having my right foot inside the left thigh. Lift the chest up, lengthen the spine. Either just stay here, if this is you and you already feel a good hamstring stretch on the left, then just don't go any further, you have arrived. If you don't feel anything, you need a little bit more, then just lean a little bit in. And I'm feeling my hamstrings have really worked a lot today, so I'm not going super far. I'm not worrying too much about holding my foot, but if it's comfortable, you can do that. Actually, what I prefer to do, if it's possible, is have right hand outside left foot. And then I can place that left hand a little bit long and use it to gently twist to the left. Couple of breaths here. Give that left hamstring something to work with, but nothing too intense. See if you can soften into these poses. No need to make them super aggressive. And then slowly release. Just feel the after effects of this. Your lower back is a really great one. Oh, here's the Shongololo. Hi. Stretch the right leg long. And there's all kinds of surprises, of course, if you do yoga or activities outdoors. Okay, I'll let you pass first. No problem. There's all this traffic. Lift the chest up. Left foot is inside my right leg. Right leg is a little bit active. You can stay here to support yourself with the hands or lean a little bit forward. This is going to increase the amount on that hamstring stretch, of course. You're welcome to hold your foot. You're also welcome to just rest your hands next to your leg. And my preferred version is actually to, with the left hand, hold the outside of that right foot or lower leg. And then to post that right hand a little bit wider to twist slightly to the right. It feels so good in the lower back as well as in the right hamstring. It's a good opportunity again to work with the breath. See if you can inflate the whole area around the lower back, your waist, your belly with every inhale. And then deflate with a long, slow exhale. Make the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale if you can. It has a wonderful relaxing effect on your whole system. And then slowly lift back up. Last pose, which an area we haven't touched on yet, is the inner thighs. So I'm spreading my legs out wide. I can push a little bit with the hands, and these muscles also work hard when we are hiking or just walking. So we need to quickly touch on them just to have the whole circumference of the hips. We've done the quads, we've done outer hips, we've done hamstrings at the back. So now we're doing the inside. Lift the chest, activate your legs a bit. Actually, for me, this might be enough. I'm feeling quite tight in the adductors after hiking today. I might lean a little bit forward, but this is about it for me today. Of course, if you have more space to lean more to the front, then by all means go there. But just see that you're not pushing too hard. This is a recovery practice and not the main meal. This is the dessert. If you feel after a while you get a little bit more space, you might move your hands in front of you. Or you can hold the toes, but don't pull really hard with the hands. Let it just be a gentle resting of the hands on the feet, so that there's no strong external force pulling you in when you're not ready. Rather than pulling hard with the hands, let the pull come from the the abdominals slightly toning back to create a space around your center. Couple of deeper breaths again. See if you can inhale for 4 and exhale for 8, or as close as you can get to that. Inhale for 4, exhale for 8. One more slower breath. Good. Slowly come back up. Take a comfortable seat, however you want to sit. Of course, I'd recommend Shavasana, but I'll let you do that on your own. If you have an extra couple of minutes, then that's, of course, the best idea. And I thank you for joining me for this quick hip and shoulder stretch after a hike or whichever activity that you have just done. Thank you for joining me, and greetings from the Drakensberg in South Africa. Namaste.